River City Junction. River City, next station stop.
You're crazy with the heat. Credit's no good for a notion, salesman.
Abort! All aboard!
Why not? What's the matter with the credit?
It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an Annville salesman. You firm give any credit?
No, sir.
Nor anybody else.
River City next.
Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the buttons.
Cash for the cotton goods. Cash for the hard goods.
Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods.
Cash for the noggins and the piggins and the Perkins.
Cash for the hogshead caskets. Every jar cash for the crackers and the pickles and the pie paper.
Look, what do you talk? 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 Where do you get it? What do you talk?
You can talk, you can talk, you can bicky, you can talk, you can bicky, you can talk, you can talk, you can talk, bicky, you can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Wide small team forward made the trouble, made the people want to go, want to get up to go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the galaxy.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Who's gonna patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? What do you talk?
Not the quality at all. Anywhere at the store, at the modern store, at the present day store, at the present day modern departmentalized grocery store.
What do you talk? 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 What do you talk?
You can talk, you can bicky, you can talk, you can bicky, you can talk, bicky, you can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Why? You need a biscuit made the trouble. You need to put a cracker in a package. You need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package made the cracker bill obsolete.
Crack barrel went out the window, the metal pouch cut plugs on by the stove. Changed the approach of driving salesman, made pretty hard.
No, it didn't, but you gotta know the territory.
Gone with the hogshead casket and Davy John. Gone with the sugar barrel, pickle barrel, milkman. Gone with the tub and the pail and the tears.
Ever meet a fellow by the name of Hill?
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 No!
Just a minute.
Never heard of salesman Hill.
No, he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory.
What's the fellow's line?
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or the Cracker Barrel being obsolete, or the you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package, or the Model T Ford.
Just a minute.
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or a doggone thing, he's just a big beat, bell ringing, big home, great go, necker, nothing, rip roaring every time a bullseye salesman. That's Professor Harold Hill.
He's a fake and he doesn't know the territory.
What do you talk? He's a music man.
He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the towns with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums. Big brass bass. And the piccolo uniforms too, with the shiny gold braid on the coat and the big red stripe running.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Mandolin picks, perhaps, here and there, juice heart.
No, the fella sells bands, boys' bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king, and he dallies and he gathers, and he plucks and he shines, and when the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him.
But he doesn't know the territory.
River City, just crossed the state line into Iowa. River City, population 2,212. Cigarettes illegal in this state. But
All right. If you're all through, I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
Never saw him in my life, but I know this much. He's giving every one of us a black eye. After he's worked a town over, the next salesman to arrive gets automatically tarred and feathered and rode out to these silly limits on a rail. You think that's funny? Well, wait till it happens to you. Your hair never grows back.
Stings.
But why should he get rode out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell banishments and uniforms and instruction books, he has to guarantee to teach the kids to play. Well, and to form them kids to a band with himself as the leader,
What's wrong with that?
he don't know one note from another. That's what's wrong with that. And he can't tell a bass drum from a pipe organ. And I'll catch up to that swindling 2-bit Thimberger, and when I do, I'll squeal on him so loud.
You're mad, Charlie. Sure like to be around when you catch up with this fella.
Not on this trip. Not in Iowa. Even the great Professor Harold Hill wouldn't try to sell them neck-bowed Hawkeyes out here.
Board!
Well, gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
Don't believe I caught your name.
It is, if you want to go around in your drawers all day.
There I was in the Madison Hospital, and nobody come to see me. Cousin Will never come, Aunt Bertha never come.
Your Aunt Bertha's dead.
She wouldn't come anyway.
We can be cold as a fall in December if you ask about our weather in July. And we're so blind our summer we can stand and touch your noses for we need it hard and never see eye to eye.
Well, you're Mr. Squires, yes? Well, I'm interested in a rig for Sunday, if you could accommodate me.
Well, then I guess you ought to see the man in charge of hiring rigs, who's late as usual.
Gregory! Marcellus!
You old son of a gun! Whoa, what in the... But Greg,
Professor Hill's the name. Harold Hill.
but Greg, what are you doing here? Why didn't you let me know you was coming?
Well, I didn't know I was myself. And besides, how could I know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker back when you were in the business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you work. Besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Toffenmeyer, boss's niece.
Gone legitimate, huh? Well, I knew you'd come to no good.
So, what's the new pitch? You're not back in band business. I heard you was in steam automobiles.
Well, I was.
What happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No.
Now, give me the lowdown around here, Mars.
You're never gonna get anywhere in the band business with these stubborn Irwins, Greg. Besides, we got a stuck-up music teacher who'll expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Well, male or female?
Music teacher? She's the librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, point her out to me.
I will. So, how are you gonna start the new pitch?
Well, same old way. I'm gonna keep that music teacher off balance, and then my next step will be to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
River City isn't in any trouble.
Well, then I'm gonna have to create some. I have to create a desperate need for a boys' band, you remember. So tell me, what's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing. Except the billiards parlor just put in a new pool table.
They never had a pool table here before?
No, only billiards.
Well, that'll do. I'll see you later, Mars. And remember, music teacher.
Music teacher.
You're Mr. Dunlop.
Yeah?
Well, either you're closing your eyes to a situation that you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player, certainly mighty proud to say it. I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with the cue in my hand are golden. Help you cultivate a horse sense with a cool head and a keen eye. Did you ever take and try to give an ironclad lead to yourself from a 3-rail billiard shot? But just as I say, it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a balk-line game. I say that any boob can take and shove a ball in a pocket, and I call that sloth. The first big step on the road to the depths of degradé. I say first it's medicinal wine from a teaspoon, and then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit. And listen to some big out-of-town Jasper, hear him tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trot race, no, but a race where they sit down right on the horse. I'd like to see some stuck-up jockey boy sitting on Dan Patch, make your blood boil, well, I should say. Well, now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in a table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum, with a capital B in that rhymes and P and that stands for pool. And all week long, your River City youth will be frittering away. I say your young men will be frittering. Frittering away their noontime, supper time, chore time too. Get the ball in the pocket, never mind get the dandelions pulled in the screen door patch and the beefsteak pounded. Never mind pumping any water till your parents are caught with a cistern in it Saturday night, and that's the trouble. Yes, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the knickerbocker shirt-tailed young ones peeking in the pool hall when you got trouble. Folks right here in River City. Trouble with the capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. No, I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. Well, I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around that hall? We'll be trying out Bevos, trying out Cubebs, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette fiends, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale breath with sense. And one fine night, they leave the pool hall, heading for the dance at the Armory, Liberty Men, and Scarlet Women, and ragtime, shameless music that'll grab your son, your daughter with the arms of jungle, animal instinct, mass hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With the capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
We've surely got trouble.
We surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school.
Our children's children gotta have trouble.
Mothers of River City, heed that warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The minute your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he starting to memorize jokes from Captain Billy's whiz bang? Are certain words creeping into his conversation? Words like swell, and so's your old man. Oh, well, if so, my friends, you got trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With the capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
We surely got trouble.
We surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Remember the Maine, Plymouth Rock, and the Golden Rule.
Our children's children gotta have trouble.
Oh, we've got trouble. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game in the 15 numbered balls, the devil's true. Oh, yes, you got trouble, trouble, trouble.
Oh, yes, we got trouble here. We got big, big trouble.
With a T,
We got
P,
That rhymes with P.
and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
you're...
No.
Well, didn't I meet you in,
No.
I'll only be in town for a short time, and, well...
Good.
That you, daughter? Yes, Mama. Keep on, Amaryllis. I'll be there in a minute. Fine, dear. Now your exercises.
Yes, Mom. I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July.
It was, Mama. All evening. Mama, a man in a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh, who?
I never saw him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. Now, don't dawdle, Amaryllis. So, do, la, re, ti, mi, a little slower, and please keep the fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind my saying so, it wouldn't have hurt to find out what the gentleman wanted.
Oh, I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Well, excuse me for living, but I've never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with the same old comment about the low mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't tell my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But darling, when a woman has a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all them other highfalutin Greeks.
Mama, if you don't mind my saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
Oh, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about that stranger.
What stranger?
With the suitcase. Maybe your very last chance.
Mama, do you think that I'd allow a common measure? No, really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards, and if you don't mind my saying so, there's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to that blend of Paul Bunyan, St. Pat, Noah Webster you've concocted for yourself out of your Irish imagination, your Iowa stubbornness, and your library full of books.
Well, if that is the best I've ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May I have a...
May I have a drink, please?
Yes, dear.
Winthrop, it's after dark. Is that a way to enter the house?
Hello.
Oh, that won't do. I have a kiss from me, boy. That lady over there's your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, where are your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you please come? I would especially like it very much if you would come, Winthrop.
Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis asked you to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name?
He won't say Amaryllis because of S, because of his list. He's ashamed.
We know all about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop?
I bet he won't say it.
No, thank you, Amarillo. Amarillo.
He's crying. Why does he get so mad at people? Just because he lisps?
It's not only because he lisps, Amaryllis. That's just part of it.
What's the other part?
Never mind. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you and your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever talk to me. But I do him every night. I say goodnight to him on the evening star. You have to do it the very second you see it too, or it doesn't count. Night, my winter. Good night. Sleep tight.
There, darling, don't cry. You have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never. I'll end up an old man like you.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Miss Marian. Can I play my cross hand piece?
May I play my...
May I play my cross hand piece?
You may.
See, without a sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to on the evening star.
I know, Amaryllis, but for the time being, just say goodnight, my... someone. You can put in the name when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my cross hand.
Thy banners make tyranny tremble, when borne by the red, white, and blue. When borne by the red, white, and blue. When borne by the red, white, and blue. Thy banners make tyranny tremble, when borne by the red, white, and blue.
I'm sure we're all grateful to my wife, Eulalie McKechnie, for leading the singing, and to Ethel Toffelmeyer, our fine piano player, piano. As mayor of River City, I welcome you, River citizens, to the 4th of July exercises set up for the indoors here at Madison Gymnasium. Account the weather. 4 scores. The members of the school board will now present a patriotic the members of the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement about costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Wonton Yi girls of the local wigwam of Hiawatha will now present a spectacle in which my wife, Lily McKechnie Shin, will take a leading part.
I wouldn't leave if I was ya!
Mrs. Shin, pull cover! No thanks to a certain young ruffian who is a disgrace to our city. 407 years. The Payne's fireworks spectacle, last days of Pompey I, will take place, providing the rain stops by 9:30. It'll be out to Madison Picnic Park in the far meadow, across the creek from the pest house.
How can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair?
Sure did, Ewart. That's why we was all prepared for a storm.
Hey, the Gazette is accurate most of the time. You know that, JC.
You wouldn't last very long in banking business being accurate most of the time.
Banking business?
Who cares
I'll
about being
have
accurate?
The race late again tonight.
I'll make her early.
She's late, all right.
He's right on time. Samantha, or what?
Oh, hey, what's Samantha face?
Stop bickering in public!
It's you, Hunt.
All in the world I said was...
Never mind! 4 scores!
There's a pool table in town!
Yeah! Now, just a minute here.
Is it a pool table or isn't it?
Will you allow me to get on with the exercises?
We don't want any more exercises till it gets pool table matter settled.
Yeah!
Let's protect our children.
Yeah!
Resisting and corruption.
Yeah!
Smite that devil and keep our young boys pure.
Yeah!
Friends, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with this troubled friend with the wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me if you will. Well, I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize the River City Boys Band. Brrrata. Oh, think, my friends, how could any pool table ever hope to compete with the gold trombone? Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous, fabled walls of Jericho. Old billiard parlor walls come a-tumbling down. Or a band will do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I said a boys' band. Do you hear me? I said River City's got to have her boys' band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand, and River City's gonna have her boys' band, as sure as the Lord made little green apples, and that band's gonna be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. And you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals, and you'll feel the thunder of rolling drums. Why, and the shimmer of trumpets, tum-ta-da! And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill that I once enjoyed. When Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, the great creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds, and there were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottomed timpani and horse platoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double-belled euphoniums and big bassoons, each bassoon having his big fat say. There were 50 mounted cannon in the battery, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who'd improvise a full octave higher than the score. 76 trombones make the counter horn, 110 cornets blazed away. The rhythm of march, 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 all the kids began to march, and they're marching still right today.
Men, that man is a spellbinder. This calls for emergency action. I haven't seen Iowa people get so excited since the night Frank Gotch and Strangler Lewis lay on the mat for 3.5 hours without moving a muscle. Never mind! I want that man's credentials.
Hey, grab it!
Grab that hoodlum! He almost blew up Mr. Shin!
Oh, thank you, Professor. Have to make an example out of him. Ringleaders. You know, what he does, the whole gang does.
You wild kid, you hanging around my oldest girl. His father is one of the day laborers down south of town. You wild kid, you tagging down Main Street after my oldest girl last Sunday.
We wasn't neither tagging.
Don't you contradict me!
We was just walking together, Geely Clyde.
I know what you was doing, my little Gracie Senior. Now you stay away from my oldest girl, or you'll hear from me. Tell who laid the rails. Hill, I'll talk to you Monday morning about this band thing over at City Hall, 10 o'clock sharp. Men, I want that spellbinder's credentials.
Well, Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
Oh, you don't know this kid. He's tough. He's got his whole gang waiting outside.
Oh, I'll be careful. Oh, thank you. Well, Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
Aw, gee, Professor, that's for the little kids.
I'm not talking about you playing in the band. Why, I bet you're mechanically minded, aren't you? Ever do anything with perpetual motion?
I nearly had it a couple times.
You did? Well, then you're my man. Do you realize that nobody's ever invented a music holder for a marching piccolo player? There's no place to hang the music.
Gee, I wonder where I could get some wire from.
I checked your cellar. That's where people usually keep wire. Oh, and Tommy.
Yes, sir?
Now, Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. Oh, young lady. Why, what's your name?
Sunita, I had no idea he was beckoning to me, ye gods.
Do you know Tommy Gilas?
Well,
Tommy, this is Anita. I'd like you to escort the young lady home.
Oh, well, except I'm not going home. You see, I was going to the library, ye gods.
Oh, then escort the young lady home by way of library and by way of candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir.
Ye gods!
Professor, you're a pretty bright young fella, but you made a couple of mistakes, though.
Oh?
Yeah, the mayor happens to own the billiard parlor and the new pool table.
Oh. Well, then what was my other mistake?
That's Anita. That's the mayor's oldest girl.
Professor, Hill, we'd like to see your credentials. We're the school board.
Academic certificates.
Nothing of the kind.
We need letters and papers.
Naked, put up a box.
Wait, gentlemen. What am I hearing?
Say ice cream.
Ice cream, but I don't sing, young man.
All right, talk.
Down here.
Ice cream.
Talk slow.
Ice cream.
See? Singing is only sustained talking.
Now you.
Ice cream.
Now you, right here.
Ice cream.
And now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Ladies, from now on, you'll never see one of those men without the other three.
Oh, Professor, you're wrong. Why, they've hated each other for 15 years.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
How can there be any
Sin is sincere. Where is the good and goodbye and goodbye? Your apprehensions confuse me, dear. Puzzle and mystify. Mystify, tell me what can be fair in farewell, dear, while one single star shines above. How can there be any
sincere? Aren't we sincerely in love? Oh, we're in love.
I don't suppose you live alone or anything.
Oh,
Well, I've got some wonderful caramels over at the hotel if you'd like some.
Mr. Hill.
Why, it's Professor Hill.
Professor of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying women on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about that. Why, I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of '05.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? And another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town, and I think it only fair to warn you, I have a shelf full of reference books in there that may very well give me some interesting information about you.
Hey, Gregory. Oh, hi, Marcellus. And don't call me Greg.
So, how'd you make out with the music teacher?
Scrumptious. Ate right out of my hand the minute I tipped my hat.
She did? Boy, did you cut a swath tonight. For a minute, even I thought you knew something about leading a band. Just like you used to imitate that band concert fellow back in Joplin.
Kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, son. Just you keep your eyes on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? It only used to take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
It still does. But it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh no, Greg, you haven't added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? But Greg, you can't pass yourself off as a music professor. Not for any 4 weeks, that is.
Well, Mars,
but you don't know one note from another.
I don't have to. I have a revolutionary new method called the Think System, where you don't even bother with notes.
But in 4 weeks, people will want to hear music. You'll have to lead a band.
Yeah, but when the uniforms arrive, they forget all that. At least long enough for me to collect and to leave. This is a refined operation, son. I've got it timed down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. And now, Mr. Washburn, if you'll excuse me.
Gonna line yourself up a little canoodling, huh?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed.
Professor Hill, we're all agog, simply agog, on the clavier. Everyone's so excited about the band.
I'm at the top of the piano, look.
And this is Mrs. Squires and Mrs. Hicks, and of course you met Eulalie McKechnie Shin, our mayor's wife. Oh, isn't it exciting, Eulalie?
Oh, I couldn't say. I could not say. Oh no, I could not say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure, and naturally, I'm reticent. Oh yes, I'm reticent.
Of course, Mrs. Shin, I understand. But you see, part of my musical plan includes a committee on the dance and, well... Wait! Well, your foot! The way you raised it just now.
Oh! Well, I have a bunion there that bothers.
Oh, what grace! What natural flow of rhythm, what expression of line and movement!
Mr. Hill!
You must accept the chairmanship for the ladies' classic dance. Mustn't she, ladies?
Yes, you must! You must!
Oh, every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks Delsart.
Oh!
Will you? Oh, say yes, Mrs. Shin.
Yes, yes, please, 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 please.
Eulalie McKechnie Shin. That is, well, dancing!
Then you accept?
Oh, yes, indeed, and I must say...
Thank you, thank you. And now the young lady who plays piano. Well, Marian Peru, I believe. Well, after all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, tuck a little, pick a little, tuck a little, cheep, 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 pick a little more, pick a little, tuck a little, pick a little, tuck
Circle out, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little. Shake, 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 circle out, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little. Shoot, 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 shoot.
Professor, her kind of woman doesn't belong in any committee. Of course, I shouldn't tell you this, but she advocates dirty books.
Chaucer! Rabelais! Whoa!
And the worst thing, of course, I shouldn't tell you this, but
I'll tell! The man that's on my street, let me tell! Stop! I'll tell!
She made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in this town till she came round here. Oh, Miser Madison.
Miser Madison. As in Madison Gymnasium and Madison Picnic Park and Madison Hospital. That Miser Madison?
exactly. Who do you think he was anyway?
Well, I should say, show off. Gave the town the library too, didn't he?
Well, that's just it! When he died, he left the library building to the city.
But he left all the books to her.
She was seen coming and going from his place.
Oh yes, that woman May. Brazen overtures, with the guilty guarantee. She had a golden glint in her eye and a silver voice in a counterfeit ring. Just melt her down and you reveal a lump of lead as cold as steel. Here's where a woman's heart should be. He left River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her. Chaucer, Rabelais,
Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We're going to leave you now. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. We're going to leave you now. It's all right. I know everything and it doesn't make any difference.
What are you talking about?
Why, you were probably very young, and anyone can make a mistake.
What?
No apologies, no explanations, please. I'll only be in town for a short time, and, well, the sadder but wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
I have.
Well, what do you want to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
The librarian. You're not listening, Marian. Look. Marian. Marbles. 6 steelines, 8 Aggies, a dozen peewees, and 1 big glassy with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop them.
No!
Madam Librarian. What can I say, my dear, to make it clear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marian, heaven help us if the library caught on fire and the volunteer hose brigademen had to whisper the news to Marian. Madam Librarian. What can I say, my dear, to make it clear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marian, if I stumbled and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could lie on your floor unnoticed till my body had turned to Marian. Madam Librarian. Now in the moonlight, a man could sing it in the moonlight. And a fellow would know that his darling had heard every word of his song with the moonlight helping along. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian, Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win, that the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin. Any talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marian, Madam Librarian. when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly. Librarian, Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win. That the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin. And he talking along with an librarian, such as Marian. Marshmallow? Oh, Madam Librarian. Well, Tommy, we've had a pretty good morning. 11 sales out of 12 tries, and I'll tell you what, it's almost noon. You better go home and get some dinner.
Gee, thanks. Goodbye, Professor.
Thank you, Tommy.
Now, just a minute here. Are you soliciting? You haven't got a license.
Why, no, Mayor Shin. Well, I collect doorbells, and this particular specimen has an unusual tone quality that just sings into my ears.
Flattery will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. Why haven't you been down City Hall with your... papers?
Oh, I must have just missed you, Mayor. With your hand.
What?
Why, the spread of that little finger. It's hereditary.
Oh, it is. What does that mean?
That means your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit bow on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good? That means America has last produced an artist who can fugle the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
How can I get one of those horns?
Oh, sign here, Mr. Mayor. Oh, well, that'll be $17 import fee.
Yes, sir. Just think I could have missed out on this. I haven't got any, son! Why are you unscrupulous fool one night? You made down City Hall with your bad God papers at 3 o'clock.
You mean this afternoon?
I couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Mrs. Peru, do you realize that you have the facial characteristics? Why have a cornet virtuoso?
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
Oh, if your boy has that same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, by George. Not that he could ever really be great, you understand.
Oh, and in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the really great cornet players, they were Irish. Old Clark and old Mendez and old Klein and old...
But Professor, we are Irish!
No! Oh, no, really? Well, then that clinches it. Your boy was born to play the cornet. Sign here. That'll be $7 earnest money. Nothing more due until the first installment, payable at the opening of band practice. Thank you. And of course we'll need the boy's measurements for his uniform.
His uniform?
Ooh. Well, hello, son. Yes, his uniform. And not a penny due to delivery, which gives him 4 weeks to enjoy and to anticipate and to imagine at no cost whatsoever. Never allow the demands of tomorrow to interfere with the excitement and pleasures of today.
Would I have
A stripe? Why, certainly, my boy. A wide red stripe on each side. What do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us. But if you could get him to play in the band, you'd have St. Michael's own way with you. And if anyone could do it, you can. I'd pick you to be a hod claring, cape pipe, smoking, shamrock wearing, wolverine pitching, tar hall minstrel singing Irishman. Be gob and be jobbers. Where are you from, me boy?
Gary, Indiana.
I knew it! Where did you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
Why, yes. Gold medal class of '05. How'd it do, Miss Peru?
How to do, Mr. Hill?
Peru! Of course. Well, I thought the name sounded familiar. Yeah, I've tried to see you since the other night, but
He
well,
wants to put Winthrop in the band.
We're not interested, Mama.
But Marian, the boy might have his father's musical gift. He does have my jaw, you know.
Well, your husband was musical? I'd like to have a talk with him. I'm sure that we could
Do you
figure out
burst
something.
in on everyone's home like this? Prying into personal affairs? We're not interested.
Marian?
Well, that's one for and that's one against. Why not we let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
Oh. I'm sorry, but... Well, but that's all the more reason why your brother should have something like this.
My brother is a 10-year-old problem child who can't understand why his father was taken away. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years. And as for your musical tricks, why don't you go into business with some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Well, musical tricks. Well, Miss Peru, I hardly... I get the feeling she likes the idea. Oh, a little cautious perhaps, but I admire that in a woman. Just you keep me alive and I'll see you later in the week.
One moment, Professor Hill. About the boy's measurements. I make all his clothes. Sleeve, 21. Waist, 18. Crotch, 14.
That's all I need. Now I must get back to the hotel.
Professor, I do hope you excuse Marian. She's not really...
It's all right. I'm sure that at heart, she's as lovely as herself. Good day to you, Widow Peru.
Has he gone?
He has, and I do hope not forever. Don't you ever think of your future? Gary, Indiana, conservation class of '05. Now, darling...
Now, Mama! Surely a girl's future doesn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, self-centered, woman-chasing traveling man who comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right, only. It's a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop, I know you're there. Oh. Will you please go to the library and ask Miss Grubb to give you the book I've set aside? It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large blue volume with gold trim.
Do I have to?
You won't have to talk to anyone. I've written it all down. Thank you, dear.
Now, what are you up to? Why do you need books at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling that the Indiana Journal may help me poke some large holes in the professor's claims.
Now I give up. If you don't mind my asking, what kind of white knight do you expect to come riding along at your age?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Griner, who backs me into the ancient history shelf every time he comes to the library.
He does?
Or Ed Gamage and that buggy of his with the removable back seat. I'm not waiting for knight in shining white armor either. White knight, little flints alive, not an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, what my heart would say, if it only knew how. Please, dear Venus, show me now. in us than in me. And if occasionally he pondered what makes Shakespeare and Beethoven great, him I could love till I died. Him I could love till I died. My one night, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My one night, let me walk with him where the others ride by. Walk and love him till I die. Till I
Zanita! Hey, Zanita!
Tommy, Mama and Papa are right there in the banky goods.
All right, then meet me after supper.
Can't. It's Epworth League night.
Meet you where? The footbridge.
Well, see, isn't that what I just said? First the lumber yard, and now the footbridge. And where will you meet me next? The black hole of Calcutta, ye gods!
I only want to show you my invention.
What invention?
My music holder for a marching piccolo player. It only has a few minor flaws. See, when you keep it tight enough to hold the music steady, you cut off the circulation and can't wiggle your fingers. Meanwhile, you could go blind.
Tommy, it's Mama and Papa. Go, 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 go.
Is that the very first thing I said or not?
Yes, George.
Yes, the very first thing I said, or I'll eat hay with the horse. Get that, spellbinder's credentials, I said, morning of July 4th, 1912. And now look, my wife is off dancing at any and all hours instead of in the
Yeah,
house.
George.
The school board is singing up street and down alley instead of attending to city matters. And my oldest girl is off boodling around with some wild kid from the street. And my business has fallen off so far, I can't find the balance sheet.
Shin, I found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater.
Who?
His university.
Oh, I know all about that. In fact, that's the only thing I can ever get out of it. Gary Conservatory, class of '05.
If you'll just take time to read a little bit about the conservatory, I don't think you'll have to look further. It's on page 2.
Papa! The Wells Fargo wagon's just coming up from the depot.
The Wells Fargo wagon? A likely story. At this hour of the day, nonsense. The Wells Fargo wagon.
It could be the band instrument.
The band instruments?
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be.
I got a box of maple sugar on my birthday.
In March, I got a gray Mackinac.
And once I got some grapefruit from Tampa.
Montgomery wants of me a bathtub and a crosscut saw.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down. Is it a prepaid surprise or COD?
It could be curtains or dishes or a tub of boiler. It could be.
Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be.
Something special.
Something very, very special now.
Just for me.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what he was coming for.
I got some salmon from Seattle last September.
And I expect a new rocking chair. I hope I get my raisins from Fresno.
The TAR have sent a cannon for the courthouse square.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming now. I don't know how I could ever wait to leave. It could be something for someone who is not related, but it could be something
instruction in due course. In the meantime, stay off the streets. Get acquainted with your instruments and think of the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-di-da, la-di-da.
Sister, isn't this the most something soulful singer I saw? Never thought I'd seen you sing so something soulful singer, sister.
Round one to you, Mr. Hill. But I better hear some by God shooting out his horns in pretty short order, or I'll see you in front of the grand jury over at the county seat. Now, Miss Marian, about that book.
Come, George, tempus fugit.
You watch your phraseology. Get along if you want to. I've got to get something from the librarian.
The ladies' dance committee meets Tuesday nights at the high school.
Lovely ladies, lovely. Now turn. Take the body with you. Now, let's have a go at our Grecian herbs. One Grecian herb. Two Grecian herbs. Quit it. And the fountain. Trickle, trickle. Splendid, ladies. I predict that our Del Sword display will be the highlight of the ice cream social. And ladies, remember, don't make me tell you again. Always keep your face to the audience. All right, Mr. Dunlop.
It's you in the sunrise. It's you in my cup. It's you all the way into town. It's your sweet hello, dear, that sets me up. And it's your got to go, dear, that gets me down. It's you on my pillow in all of my dreams. Till once more the morning breaks through. What words could be saner or truer or plainer than it's you? It's you. Yes, it's you. Oh, yes, it's you.
Please, kids, this is Shinwaba.
Mr. Washburn, we are entitled to 5 more minutes.
You think you can all up? Go ahead!
Stutter up, Mr. Washburn. Wait till you see the new steps Professor Hill taught us.
All right, what'll it be?
The shapoopy!
Now, a woman who kisses on the very first date is usually a hussy. But a woman who kisses on the second time out is anything but fussy. But a woman who waits till the third time around, head in the clouds, feet on the ground. She's the girl these bodies down. She's his shapoopy, 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 shapoopy.
The girl who's hard to get.
Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy. Walk her once, just raise the curtain, then you walk around twice. You beg for sitting once more in the flower garnish you, and you never get sore. Beg your pardon. You're raining on so lossy nose, and lots of mommy ready. Squeeze her once she is, and looking if you get squeezed back, that's why it's kicking. Once more from half, remember she'll never get sore on the way to supper. You're raining on so lossy nose, now little sounds and no gal as anyone can see. Look at her now, she's going gal that only goes for me. Squeeze her once when she
kids. And let's get a squeeze back its ways. You can get what's more from half brother. She'll never get started on the way to supper. Do re mi fa sol la si do, si do. Ship-boop-bee, ship-boop-bee, ship-boop-bee. It's hard to get. Ship-boop-bee, ship-boop-bee, ship-boop-bee.
But you keep with it.
Some new sets, Professor.
Take your hands off my daughter!
But
Mayor Shin, your honor. Zanita and I go steady behind your back.
Who are you?
We'd rather do it in front of your back, but...
Do what?
mind.
Anita's scared of you, but I'm not. I should think you'd hate to have your own daughter scared of you, Julie Clyde.
I'm going to warn you once more. If I ever catch you touching my daughter again, oh my God, horsewhip you. Tell her I won't have it again.
Now, George.
That's what poop out of you, madame.
I think he means pee.
Yes! And now get out of this public building.
I got as much right in a public building as anybody.
All right. How do you get any right around here? Aiding and abetting the swindling activities of the spellbinding symbol salesman? I'll tell you what I see written all over you. Reform school. Now get out. Get out, you wild kid.
Papa! It's Capulets like you that make blood in the marketplace. Ye gods!
You watch your phraseology, young woman. Go home. Eulalie,
Yes!
you tend to your dance.
My dance!
I'll handle Zanita, taking up with wild kids from the wrong side of town.
But Mr. Mayor, if I could just make you
Well,
understand.
you can't. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I've read that book you gave me. It's covered for a whole week now, and didn't find a thing.
Well, Mr. Mayor,
I'll settle your hash as soon as I get these premises off of my oldest girl. Yes!
All right, but in the meantime, I want you to know that I'm vouching for Tommy Gilas. Well, that boy's got the confidence of every kid in town. You'll be waiting in line to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, the individual members will have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they'll get from tripping over their beards. I'll tell you something, my fine young feather friend, Oliver, Jason, Ewart, Olin. I want this man's references, and I want him tonight. Don't let him out of your sight. He's slippier than a Mississippi sturgeon.
Do you mean you want us to get his credentials?
Get his papers, or get him in jail! I couldn't make myself any clearer if I was a button hook in the well water.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shin has behaved abominably. And I think it was wonderful of you coming to Tommy's defense.
That wasn't anything.
Oh, yes, it was.
Oh, no, a man can't dodge the issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? The coward dies 1,000 deaths. Why, and the brave man only 500. Unfortunately, of course, the mayor was pretty mad on account of his billiard parlor now. Oh, I suppose a letter of recommendation from a musical authority such as yourself could help, but I couldn't think of asking you to do anything like that.
Oh, why, Professor Hill?
You would?
I'd be glad to. I just wish I were a little more informed. I've been meaning to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
His cornet, mother of pearl keys.
Yes, I'm sure it's fine. But, you see, he never touches it. Oh, the first week or so, he made a few, experimental blats, I guess you'd say.
Yes, blats. Yes.
And he sings the minuet in G-da-da almost constantly.
La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-di-da, la-di-da.
But he never touches the cornet.
Well, you see,
He says you told him it wasn't necessary.
Well, it's not.
He tells me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor...
Miss Marian, the think system is a revolutionary method, I'll admit.
Oh.
So was Galileo's conception of the heavens. Why, and Columbus's conception of the egg, the globe, yes. Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Well, I cannot discuss these things here in public, but if you'll allow me to call... Why, when may I call?
Why, any night this week.
You were so dear tonight dancing the sheep with me with Professor Hill. You dance like a fairy princess. With the shoes for your foot. You had a golden shimmer in your hair and silver shoes for all to see. We know that you will soon unfold a forgiving heart of purest gold. Hands where a woman's heart should be. Fairy princess.
Sorry, Professor. We got our orders.
We all been deputized. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Let's see now. You know, all week I've tried to give you fellows my references and credentials, but, well, you always seem to get off this subject somehow. I have just what you want up in my hotel room. It'll take me just a sec.
Afraid I'll have to go with you.
Oh, yes. Let's see if I have my key. Wait, what is this? A testimonial from Madame Rinnie, the only female bassoon player ever to appear on the Red Path circuit. Her stage name, of course. Actually, she was from Moline. Lyda Rose Quackenbush.
Could I see that a minute?
Oh, you'll never forget that name. Lyda Rose. Same as the old song. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose.
To get the sun back in the sky. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose. About 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion I'll pop the question. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lyda Rose, now everyone knows that I'm hoping you're the same. So here's my love song, not fancy or fine. Lyda Rose, oh, won't you be my Lyda Rose, oh, Lyda Rose, oh, Lyda Rose.
Dream of them, dream of a love song that might have been. Do I love you? Oh yes, I love you, and I'll bravely tell you, but only when we meet again. Sweet and low, sweet and low, how sweet that memory, how long ago, forever, oh yes, forever, will I ever tell you I know.
Lyda Rose, oh, Lyda Rose, oh. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose, to get the sun back in the sky. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose, about 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime.
And I'll bravely
Ding
tell
dong
you,
ding,
but only
at the least
when we
suggestion I'll pop the question. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lyda Rose, now everyone knows that I'm hoping you're the same. So here's my love song, not fancy or fine.
will I ever tell
Lyda Rose, oh, won't you be my Lyda Rose, oh, Lyda Rose, oh, Lyda Rose.
Won't you ever stop arguing with yourself? Won't you ever tell him a yes, a no, a fiddlesticks? Just open your mouth and let it come out.
No,
Now, nothing. If he ever comes to call again, you see him alone. And if you don't have the gumption to tell him how you
Tell him.
well, there's nothing wrong with a ladylike hint.
Mama!
Winthrop, where have you been?
Fishing.
Fishing?
With Harold.
You mean Professor Hill?
And I still have some worms left.
Did you have a good time?
Rumfus, he told me about his hometown, Gary, Indiana. And he said he'd take me there someday. And he taught me a song that Harlad yes is in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say it once again.
frog. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-di-da. La-di-da. Leave the dishes. I'll do them, Mama.
Don't you have to change for the sociable?
There's time later.
Shins live around here somewhere?
Shinham is on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Ah, criminy. Ah, I see you're the piano teacher in town. You must know about this fellow Hill forming a boys band here?
Yes.
Well, don't let it worry you no more. I got the goods on him in spades. Swindling 2-bit Thumberger, that's why I gotta see Shin. I'm just passing through. Number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop. Wish it was 20. Sure like concentrate 5 minutes on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cowell. Anvil salesman. But just now I'm out to protect the good name of the traveling fraternity from this swindler.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big
Mistake my old lady's corset cover. That fella's been the raspberry seed of my wisdom tooth just long enough. He spoiled Illinois for me, he's not gonna spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of music teacher are you? He didn't see through him. He's no more professor than...
Oh, I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine director. And his scholastic...
Now wait a minute. Fine director? Have you heard one note of music from any band?
No, but that
But
doesn't...
nothing, girly girl. He's never formed a band in his life, and he never will.
You'll just listen to me for a minute.
I'd like to. I'd like to do more than that if I had the time. I sure got the inclination. But I gotta get back on that train, and I gotta leave this dynamite with someone on the way to the depot. Bye, girly girl. See you next time through.
You'll never make the train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossing.
No, sir. I've gotta leave word, and I can see you ain't the one to leave it with.
Just a minute, Mr. Cowell. You don't know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
No. I mean, I don't know you, and
Yes, I need more time anyway.
I mean, as well as I'd like to.
No trouble there, girly girl.
I've never met a man who sells anvils before. That's something quite different.
Takes a real salesman. I can tell you that. Anvils have a limited appeal, you know? What am I doing? I missed that train, I get fired. And I gotta leave word about the fellow Hill.
Leave word with me.
Not on your tintype. How do I know you deliver these letters?
Try me. There's your train. Now run for it.
Why, you double-dealing little? Who do you think you're protecting? That fella's got a girl in every county in Illinois, and he's taken away from every one of them. And that's 102 counties. Not count the piano teachers like you he cozies up to that keep their mouths shut. Neither one of you's heard the last of me, girly girl.
Light a rose, I'm home again, without a sweetheart to my name. Good evening, Miss Marian. Light a rose, now everyone knows that I'm hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Light a rose, oh, won't you be my light a rose, oh, light a rose, oh, light a rose.
Marian, Marian. Marian, darling, who was you? Why, Professor Hill.
Mrs. Peru, the top of the evening. Oh, I miss Marian.
Why don't you and Marian come up and sit? I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, I'll put some there.
Shall we set, as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
Did I? I didn't mean anything.
I'm not suggesting that your invitation interfered anything but academic enlightenment. The think system? I've been by your house a time or two this speak to try to explain it, but, well, there always seem to be people around. Mostly ladies, I thought.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and several other ladies.
Well, I'm glad. I wouldn't want anybody beating my time. You wouldn't? Well, no, ma'am. Evidently, it's not the convenient night. I'll see you at the sociable later.
Professor Hill, is it true that you've had 100... what I'm trying to say is...
Yes?
Is it really true that you've developed a think system?
A what? Oh, the think system! Why, yes, it's really very simple. As simple as... why, as whistling. Nobody has to show you how to use your lips in whistling. You just have to think the tune and have it come out clearly here. And now just try this yourself before you ask any questions.
Oh! I take your word.
Well, could we sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers?
I dare say you meet dozens. Even 100?
Well, I've met a few.
Have they all been as fascinated as I have with you? The think system?
Some more and some less. One young lady thought of the same system before I got to her town, and she showed me a few refinements.
Oh, I see.
Well, have I said something wrong?
Please, don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. I'm sure you have many more important things to do than to explain the think system to me.
Well, I can't think of one.
And I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Well, now say, where'd you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Now, Miss Marian, you mustn't believe everything you hear. After all, 1 2 hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me an assured job, so Mother Winthrop and I would have some security. Surely you don't believe...
Of course not. That's exactly what I'm saying. And why do you think people start those kinds of rumors?
Narrow-mindedness. Jealousy. Jealousy mostly, I guess.
Exactly. And jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Nothing about you personally. Just generally.
Well, then what have you heard generally?
Just that. But of course it stands to reason that disappointment and jealousy can lead to, take you for instance. Your attentions to customers and teachers might easily be misinterpreted, mightn't they? Now honestly, mightn't they?
Why?
And so you say, if another salesman or somebody were jealous, well, they could be downright lies, couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things.
Oh, why, of course.
It just proves you should never believe everything you hear, doesn't it? If you discuss things...
Miss Marian, I'd be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you.
Oh.
But couldn't we do it sitting down? You do sit. Your knees bend and all.
We could sit on the porch.
Well, we could also sit on a large hollow log over at the footbridge.
Oh, I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk.
I've got to change for the sociable.
Then meet me there in 15 minutes.
I just couldn't. Some other time. Maybe tomorrow?
My dear little librarian. Pile up enough tomorrows and you find you've collected nothing, but a lot of empty yesterdays. Oh. And I don't know about you, but I'd sure like to make today worth remembering.
Oh, so would I.
Then the footbridge. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama?
What?
I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Well, glory be and saints be praised, it works.
What did?
I've been using the think system on you from the parlor.
Ba-da-da-dun, dun, 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 ba-da-da-da-dun.
Hey, Gregory. The uniforms have arrived. The kids are in them already. People are going to be screaming for music if they show up to sociable.
Yeah.
Here's most of the dough. I got Tommy to collect it. He's keeping the kids together at least. Pretend to hold a practice show at the lumber yard.
All right, Mars, get the rig.
I got it.
Well, what time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
It's not even 8:30 yet. I got plenty of time.
Look, you want to turtle wordle around here and get yourself caught up in a bunny trap. You go ahead.
It's all right,
but
Mars. I'll meet you at the hotel in plenty of time. Marian. Well, you're late.
But you said 15 minutes. And
Well, I meant that you were about, well, I'd say 26 years late. Took you all this time to get to the footbridge with a fella.
well, if you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I guess I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Well, now, Miss Marian, surely you don't think I've been selling you anything?
No, you've given me something. That's why I decided to come.
Well, I don't recall giving anything.
Oh, yes, you have. Something beautiful. That's why I came, and I'm glad. Oh, please don't be afraid that I expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. I know there have been many ports of call, and there will be many more. But that's no reason for me not to be grateful for what you will have left behind for me.
Well, Marian,
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all till there was you. And there was music, and there were wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you.
Hey, Gregory!
Oh, Marian, there's a lot you don't know about me.
Hey, Greg!
Well, excuse me, I'm expecting a cable from Hector Berlioz, and well, this could be it. Now what?
Who's the salesman here? Sounds like she's selling and you're buying.
Are you nuts? I didn't know I was going to be able to leave tonight. I had to keep her off balance, didn't I?
Well, she's so far off balance now you can't tell from a catboat in a hurricane.
You listen here, Buster Brown. I've come through the ranks on this skirmish, and well, I'm not resigning without my commission.
Well, you're never going to get anywhere here on the footbridge.
I know. There's a place over at Madison Park, near the sociable. Makes this place look like the old ladies' home. Now beat it. Go get the rig. Never a peaceful moment in the music business, I'll tell you that. Now then, where were we?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you.
Well, we really don't have to go into that just now.
No. Or ever, for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately, but she did plenty when you first came here.
Oh, well, about what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory of Music, gold medal class of '05. Harold, there wasn't any Gary Conservatory in '05.
Why, certainly there was. There must be
because the town wasn't even built till '06. I'll see you at the sociable.
You knew all this time?
Since July 7th. 3 days after you came, I tore this page out of the Indiana Journal. It was originally intended to be used against you, and now I give it to you with all my heart.
What if you knew? Why didn't you? Why, you little... While 110 cornets played the air, then I modestly took my place as the one and only bass, and I oomphed up and down the square.
Good night, my someone, good night, my love.
With 110 cornets close at hand,
our star is shining its brightest light.
there were horns of every shape and sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be.
While 110 cornets played the air,
I wish I may, and I wish I might. Now good night, my someone. Good night.
Greg, this guy's crazy.
He's going around town spilling everything.
I'll say I'm crazy. Missed my train. Probably lost my job. But I got you now, Hill, and you'll pay. You'd be in the clink right now had it been for that piano teacher. I told her all about you. What'd she do? Lily gags me around till I couldn't get the shin. Little dried up angry doctor.
Get out of here or I'll kill you,
You
dirty
bully!
mouth.
You big blow up! I'll stay here in this town till you get yours up, down, through, and sideways. Why, you never even knew the territory!
Here's your stuff, Greg. The rig's in the alley. Come on, hurry up.
Your head's like being swindled out of your eye teeth right now. This minute, there's a burglar in the bedroom while you're fiddling in the parlor. I'm talking about Harold Hill. Road agent, highwayman, pickpocket.
A pickpocket?
Same thing. He's had his hand in your wallet, mister. In yours, madam. In yours, little lady. Ever since the first moment he came to this town. There's more documented evidence than you'll ever have time to read. There isn't any band, there never has been any band, and there never will be any band. And if you don't hunt this man down right now like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of town.
Now will you believe me?
Well, what are we waiting for?
I want my money back!
Yeah!
You want your money back? Well, I want his hide!
Yeah! After him! And when you find him, bring him to the schoolhouse! After him! Down the road! Down by the creek! Try to move! Back to the parade! Follow me, boys!
I've been looking all over for you. Where have you been?
I've been looking for Winthrop. He's run away. Harold, please go. Please. They're even talking about tar and feathers.
Oh, I had to see you, Marian.
It's all right. Don't you know that? You don't owe me a word. Not a word. Now go, Harold, please.
Greg! They're right behind me! He's not over here! Let's try down by the creek!
Winthrop!
Hey, wait a minute here, son.
I'm not your son. Let me go.
Not till I talk to you for a minute.
You didn't tell the truth anyway.
Would too.
Would not.
Would too. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty rotten crook?
Yes.
Let me go, you big liar.
What's the matter? You wanted the truth, didn't you? Now I'm bigger than you, so you're gonna stand here, so you might as well quit wiggling. Thank you. Well, there's two things you're entitled to know. One, you're a wonderful kid. I thought so from the start. That's why I wanted you in the band, so you'd quit moping around feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
Well, I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the hardest thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, the other thing isn't any of your business now that I think of it.
I wish you'd never come to River City.
No, you don't, Winthrop.
Sister, you believe him?
I believe everything he ever said.
But he promised us.
I know what he promised us. And it all happened, just like he said. The lights, and the flags, and the colors and the symbols.
Where was all that?
And the way every kid walked around here all summer, and looked, and acted. Especially you. And the parents, too. Does Mama wish he'd never come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, Winthrop. Now go, Harold, please.
Go on, Professor, hurry up.
I can't go, Winthrop.
Why not?
Because for the first time in my life, I got my foot caught in the door.
There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all. Till there was you. Greg, they're here. That way.
Go on, Professor, that way.
Which is why I interrupted the program at that point. Rest assured, River citizens, that I did everything in my power to prevent this dire happening from, happening. 70.
What are you doing to get our money back?
Yeah! That professors are nearly $300 just tonight!
Yeah! And we haven't even seen them uniforms yet!
Yeah! Be slippery, I told you!
I haven't seen any uniform. All my boys is just after supper.
She's a kidnapper?
Fine situation here.
Yeah.
70. Just a minute. Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. And if there are those, as I have heard, who are melting tar and collecting feathers, I will not say them nay.
Well, I should think there ought to be some of you who could forget our everlasting, Iowa stubborn, chip on the shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Do you remember? Well, do you? Surely some of you ought to be grateful for what he's brought to River City. And if so, I should think you'd want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there is a person in this hall who thinks this man, Harold Hill, should not be tarred and feathered, let him stand up. You lady, sets down. And the rest of you, standing there like a coat of Shropshire sheep, have you people forgotten how you bought expensive uniforms, technical instruction books, and high-priced band instruments? Have you people forgotten the clear understanding and warranty that your children would be taught to play in a band? Well, where's the band? Where's the band?
Think, men. Think.
Davy! That's my Davy! Mrs. Peru! That's Winthrop! I knew it all along.